300 million people. An educational system that is world-class. An economy fueled by the need for worldwide military superiority. With zero unemployment, a belief system shaped by atheistic and humanistic teaching, without the need for God, the USSR appeared to have everything. Yet, 300 million people, a people oppressed for over 70 years. Many were empty. With the collapse of the economy and the decline of communism, feelings of cultural and ethnic identity sprang to life. Questions of faith and belief in a forbidden God formed in people's minds. A few held on to their belief throughout the long Soviet winter, and some secretly shared it with others. Today, the vast majority of people are facing a spiritual hunger as never before. We have the opportunity, right now, to share Christ with 300 million people, one person at a time. It was the year 988. Grand Prince Vladimir commanded all the people of the ancient Russian state Kievan Rus to follow his example and be baptized. Kievan Rus became a Christian state. The church grew and became more influential. Beginning with the reign of Prince Vladimir, the church became involved in the day-to-day affairs of both the government and the people. Among other duties, church leaders were responsible for the spread of education and moral development. Today, the Russian people are reaching out to the church once again to fill the moral vacuum left by the decline of communism. In the city named after Prince Vladimir, the Wesleyan Church has been given the opportunity to share the reality of faith in Christ. Vladimir, located 3 hours east of Moscow, is home to 350,000 people. Since September 1993, Wesleyan missionaries David and Zandra Thompson have been involved in ministry there, sharing the love of Christ with one person at a time.
The Lord is opening some really exciting doors for ministry here in Vladimir. Last summer we had 600 young people in our youth camp, and through the year over 150 have gathered each month for monthly youth rallies. Our newly formed church is averaging in the 70s each Sunday with a high of 92. And across the city, our team is leading 10 Bible studies. There's potential for many more because we have found that people are eager to study the Bible in small group settings. The city has invited us to provide counseling for their young couples to teach them family values. And people of other cities have invited us to come and start Bible studies with them. The opportunities are vast. And as we look at these developments, we're forced to conclude that we must act now, and we must have help, and we must plan for long-term ministry.
Life here is really difficult for most of the people. There's long lines, crowded trolley buses, especially I think for the women. Life is real difficult. My most important role, just like it was in Africa, is just being a wife and mom and being an example in that way. And hopefully by doing that, I minister to the women around me by being a good example. There's a young university girl that we met as a family. And when she first met Americans, first met Christians, she said she was an atheist. She didn't even believe there was a God. And the longer she was with them, she realized, yeah, I can admit there was a God, but Jesus Christ, I can't believe in him, because she was from a Jewish background. She couldn't accept that. And it's just been neat to see how, seeing our lives and realizing that we have a peace in our heart that she didn't have and she wanted, that yeah, she could believe in Jesus Christ and believe that he did do what he said he had done.
Since the close of the summer youth camp, a team of volunteers have assisted in holding follow-up discipleship and home Bible studies, as well as assisting with the church and other areas of ministry.
Just seeing the way that we can build relationships I think that's the biggest impact that we're going to have on individual lives. And then hopefully they will go and impact other people.
We had a lady come to a Bible study with her daughter for a couple times, and she said, "This is great for my daughter." She said, "But I think it's for young people." You know, we tried to talk to her, but she hasn't been back any, but she sends her daughter every time. And her daughter's a Christian, and she says she goes home and tells her mom everything we talk about after every service. So her mom's getting it.
At first, when I was here, I never thought that I was having an impact on any of the people. My main objective here is relationships, and I was developing friendships, but that they weren't really talking about God. They were kind of, you know, "That's for you, that's good, Heather, I'm glad you have God, but God can stay at home with you. You don't have to bring him here with you." But just a couple weeks ago, one of the girls in my Bible study came up to me and said, "Heather, my little sister was really sick. She had a high fever and she couldn't sleep." And I sat down beside her and I prayed with her. And you know what, Heather? She got better and she went to sleep right away. You really did bring God with you, and I want him to stay here with me, and I'm really happy of what you're teaching us.
Church planting is one of the goals of Wesleyan World Missions. Youth camp ministry has resulted in a variety of contacts in factories, schools, hospitals, and government. People who were interested in attending Bible studies. From these Bible studies, established in apartments across the city and held in the evening, a desire grew to come together for worship. Through a 15-inch snowfall and hampered by a lack of public transportation, over 40 people walked to attend the first Sunday service. Since that time, the church has grown steadily. The main focus is discipleship, finding a number of key individuals to develop Russian leadership, to hold future Bible studies, and work within the church.
Я очень благодарна американцам, что вот они в нашем городе Владимире преподносят нам Слово Божье. Они, как-то говорится, вселились в наши души, преподнесли нам больше добра и тепла. Я очень благодарна американцам.
I'm a very complicated person, and I'm never satisfied with myself. But looking at those Americans whom I knew, I saw that they had peace in their hearts, and it helped them a lot. And that was that I needed. So now I have it.
Jesus is God. He's the Son of God. He's my Lord. He's my life.
Ron and Barb Dawson arrived in Vladimir in March of 1994. Formerly of Spring Lake, Michigan, the Dawsons are using their experience in business and their love for people and their responsibilities for administration and church planting.
For a 15-year period, I was a chief executive officer of 3 different companies. And in many ways, I wondered how I got to that position. My first position as president of a company, I wondered what qualified me to do this. I was so young to become president of a company. And I think it was all part of God's plan to teach me the administrative skills that were needed to do the coordination and do the business and logistics and the administration that needed to be done here with so many people coming and going and so many people, the Wesleyan people who will be living in Russia. And I learned a lot as a business executive, and we had the opportunity to travel to many different countries and to learn a lot of cultures. And I think that was all just part of God's plan to prepare us for what we're doing now, which was the ultimate goal, was to be in Russia.
I'm excited about the opportunities to meet people and to witness to them and just to share our faith with them.
Vladimir City Council realized that the young people of the city were in a moral crisis. Decades of communism have left the problems of delinquency, ever-increasing divorce rate, alcoholism, and a sense of hopelessness, along with an undermined value system. These problems must be addressed. Something has to be done. Galina Mitsalova is one of the members of the City Council.
Сердца открыты, и люди готовы к тому, чтобы открыть свои сердца для Бога.
So the people are ready to accept God. Their hearts are open.
Вот, видимо, пока ситуация в стране была не очень сложной, люди как-то были закрыты, они жили спокойно, не было никаких проблем. А когда появилась большая проблема, общая проблема для всех,
So when the life was quite calm here in this country and people lived in their families quite calm, they didn't have any problems and they didn't need God.
они стали готовыми открыть свои сердца и прийти куда-то, чтобы открыть их, потому что им тяжело.
And now they are ready to open their hearts and to come somewhere to open them because it's quite difficult to live here.
The city's youth department was charged with the task of dealing with these problems. Since an ongoing relationship had been established with the leadership of the youth department, Wesleyan World Missions was asked to provide counseling and teaching to help people deal with their problems, to reach the goal of developing healthy, loving families.
After we had discussed this for a while, I told them, I said, you understand if we do this, we're going to use biblical principles in counseling with these families. We believe that Christ must be the center of a healthy home. The city coordinator thought about a minute, and then she said, that's fine. When can you start?
What an opportunity to meet a real need, to reach people with a life-changing message of Jesus Christ, one person at a time. Right now, other cities are calling for people to come and share about Christianity and the Bible. Future plans call for integrative church planting training institutes, which take gifted and spirit-filled Russian lay men and women through a combination of seminars and practical experience to prepare them for ministry and outreach.
To me, Jesus means a person who loved me so deeply that he gave his life to save me, and so he was very kind. But he wants us to believe in him, to be truthful to him, like an ordinary friend, but a very good friend.
Awesome, isn't it? The door of opportunity for ministry in Russia is wide open. Next year, 100 people are needed to give 1 month of their lives to minister at our summer youth camps. Another 50 people are needed now to serve as one-year missionaries to help with Bible studies, church planting, or to join our co-mission team in their school-based ministries. Praise God with us for the hundreds of Wesleyans who have already served in Russia. But you know, at the end of the day, it's bringing people to Christ that counts. Let me tell you about Anton. Anton is brilliant, the top senior in Vladimir's most select school. When he attended youth camp last summer, his questions were endless. He didn't know what he believed about God. But there, he was introduced to Jesus Christ. After camp, he disappeared. In December, he started attending youth rallies, then worship services, and soon he was coming to the Friday evening Bible study. His questions have not stopped, but have become deeper. His decision to follow Christ has made an impact on the lives of his classmates, and now some of them are joining him at church.
Because I'm lucky to have accepted Christ. My friends are lucky to have done the same, but there are so many people left who still have not accepted Christ as their God. They need you very much. They need your help. They need to know the gospel.
God has kept this door of opportunity open for a reason. We must be part of that reason, to reach and disciple people for Jesus Christ, one person at a time. For more information on how you can be involved in the exciting opportunities in Russia, contact Wesleyan World Missions at P.O. Box 50434, Indianapolis, Indiana 46250, or call area code 317-595-4160.